What's up, everybody? Doc Dark 1985. I got my boy
Polkadot09.
and today we're going to talk about what everybody that's into gaming right now, it seems like they're talking about, and that's the Nintendo 64 Classic. Well, let's say the rumor, a rumor. It looks like a pretty strong rumor that a Nintendo 64 Classic is going to come out. So right now there's the NES Classic, right?
Super NES.
There's a Super NES Classic, right? And Sony just announced their PlayStation Classic, okay? So from all of those classic gaming systems, they're cool, right? They look cool,
Yeah,
right? They look cool, but I'm not enticed to getting any of them, especially for the price point where they're at. Now, if you guys know us, we're all about budget gaming, so maybe if the price drops or whatever, we might go ahead and pick it up. But for the time being, we're not about that life picking that stuff up just yet. But I gotta be honest with you, Poker Dude. When I saw that they're making an N64 Classic Edition, I'm not gonna lie, I got a little bit excited. You gotta understand, right? For people my age, this system, so I was born in 85, okay? This system revolutionized so many things. And during this time, during the Nintendo 64 time, it was literally, you were a Sony fan or you were a Nintendo fan. It was blasphemous to be both.
Wait, so Microsoft wasn't even in the game?
I don't think Microsoft was in the game till PlayStation 2. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I don't think Microsoft was in the game yet. But it was... So you know how right now we have a PS4, right? We have an Xbox One S. We have a Nintendo Switch. So we have everything, right? Hey man, back in the day, you weren't doing that. You were picking one system and you would ride or die. And you would say, this is the best system on the market. That's the best system on the market. And I remember sitting in the lunchroom in high school talking trash with my friends that had PlayStations. Like, just talking trash. Like, what game you playing? Oh, and the graphics were so different, right? So Nintendo had I don't even know how to describe it. It was more like...
Kind of like not polished graphics, something like that? I don't know.
No. Well, the graphics weren't polished for either system, especially to what you're compared to.
Yeah.
But it was weird. Like, Nintendo, you could see the polygons more, and then on PlayStation, it almost looked like a whole bunch of sticky pads put together. You'll know what I'm talking about if you've ever seen it. So we would talk trash about the graphics to each other. We would talk trash about the controllers to each other. It was ridiculous. But after a while, that changed, and now we live in an era where if you can afford all the systems, then you should probably get all the systems, right? Would you agree? Should you get all the systems?
Yes, but when you were younger, did Nintendo only have one system? Like, only the N64 for you?
What do you mean?
Like you could only play the N64 when you were younger. Like, they didn't have was the NES out before the N64?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course, yeah. So the Nintendo came out first, then the Super Nintendo came out.
Right, and
then somewhere in between there's this thing called the Virtual Boy. I've never actually seen one. Okay?
I've seen a video on that.
Okay.
It does not look fun.
Okay. And then I think the 64 came out after that.
And then after that, the GameCube.
Then the GameCube, then the Wii, then the Wii U, and now the Switch, right? But anyways, this system here was what got me into video games like heavy, okay? So when I heard that they're making this mini, oh man, look at this thing. This thing looks so cool. Only if you're my age, probably. Anybody else thinks it's weird.
I think it's cool.
Okay, cool. I remember I had one of your friends over when we were in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he wanted to play it. He saw it in our garage, and I was like, okay, grab the controller. And I remember I went to plug in the controller for him, and he was like, you gotta plug it in? Yeah, you gotta plug it in. You know, wireless, none of that stuff, okay? Do you know what this is?
Yeah, it's a memory card. So,
It is. It's a memory card. Do you know what else you could put in here?
HDMI.
No, you can't put an HDMI. Oh, Poker Dude thinks you could put an HDMI in this thing. No.
I thought they had like bigger HDMI.
No, you could put a rumble pack in it. Like a rumble pack so it vibrates.
Oh, that'd be pretty
But these
cool,
things
but-
would put, you put batteries in those things and you'd be like, you remember, right? Oh man, I'm so excited just the nostalgia of it. So, anyways, I think if Nintendo does release this during the same time that Sony releases their PlayStation Classic, I think that's a great idea. That is just genius. In my opinion, they showed the lineup of the games that Sony's gonna drop with their Sony Classic, with the PlayStation Classic. I'm not impressed. That's just me, but at that time I wasn't a Sony fan anyway, so none of those games have nostalgic value for me. But what does have nostalgic value for me, oh man, show them the games, Poker Dude, what needs to come out.
Oh my god.
So if they do, I think they're only going to do 20 games per system.
Per system?
Yeah, I think that's what it is, 20 games. These are just my personal requests. Nintendo, Doc Dark 1985, okay, I'm a big fan. Poker Dude 09. Poker Dude 09 has actually played the Nintendo 64 plenty of times.
I love playing that.
Exactly. So, all right. So these are the games that I would like to see. I'm pretty confident some of these are going to be on there. I think one of them might not be, but I still want to see. I think it'd be a cool addition. But yeah, without further ado, the first game. Show 'em, Poker Dude.
The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
That has to be on it.
And Majora's Mask.
That has to be on it. And Majora's Mask. Don't even do it, Nintendo. Do not make it without this and Majora's Mask. All right?
Before I got Ocarina of Time for the DS, all I did was go in the garage and play that after school.
That's right.
And that's what I would do.
So here's the other game that needs to come out on this.
That game frustrated me a little bit, but I loved it.
Bam! Of course. This is a classic. Super Mario 64. You need to do it. Obviously, right? That's easy day.
Mario and Zelda must.
I saw another YouTuber. I can't remember who it was, so I'll give a shout out in the comments. Who said this game should be on there, and I agree 100%. I think it was RTA. I think it's RTG or something like that. He mentioned Perfect Dark. I agree, dog. Put Perfect Dark on it. It's great game, especially with the controller. Oh man, it's amazing. Go ahead. What other games should be on it? So as of right now, we got Zelda, Perfect Dark, Super Mario 64, and then Majora's Mask, which we don't have a copy of right here. Go ahead. What game?
And Mario Party 2.
Mario Party 2. This game was dope. Oh my god, this game was dope. Hey, who remember this? Oh, you don't know about that. You don't know about that spinning.
I remember that.
Oh, you have no idea. Oh man.
I remember playing that.
Here's another one.
David.
Here's another one. Bam. And another one. Donkey Kong 64, I believe should be on there. Don't sleep on that Donkey Kong 64. This even has a multiplayer. This even has a multiplayer with Diddy Kong. It has all the Kongs that you could shoot.
Dixie Kong.
Leave that one for last. We're gonna do this one next, right? Now the next two games, if they throw them on there, I'm gonna be excited about it. I think these are very good games on the Nintendo 64. Pretty much everything that we showed so far. Yeah, everything that we mentioned so far are exclusives, right? Nintendo, Zelda, Majora's Mask, Donkey Kong 64, Mario Party 2, Super Mario 64, Perfect Dark.
I actually have Majora's Mask for my 3DS.
For the 3DS, yeah.
My 2DS.
For the 2DS. This game right here is another one that should be on there. Bam! Resident Evil 2. This game is so good on Nintendo 64. I remember playing it. It was my first horror game I played, and I remember being scared out of my butt. It was insane.
Your pants.
Yeah, it was insane. All right. So now this game right here, you could do either version. You can either do this one or the newer one that came out. It doesn't matter. But you need to do one of these games, Nintendo, Cause man, I remember playing for hours with my friends. Let me see.
I remember you beat me in it a couple.
Oh yeah, I took him to
back.
school in this game. Y'all ready for
He
this?
did.
Oh, WrestleMania 2000. What you know about that? Oh, you don't. You don't. And the one that came after this, I think it was called No Mercy. Game was so awesome. The customization that you can make with your characters, the storyline No Mercy is really good. Oh man, it was.
I've never played it.
It was amazing. It was so much fun. So with Majora's Mask, right on top of this, that's a total of 8 games so far. So then Nintendo, you obviously got to put Mario Kart 64.
Oh yeah.
Got to put that on there, and you have to put the original Smash Bros. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So those are our 10 games, Nintendo, out of the 20. The other 20, do whatever you want, right? So we got Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time. You have Super Mario 64, Donkey Kong 64, Mario Party 2, WrestleMania 2000, or No Mercy, either or. Perfect Dark. What other one we had? I said Donkey Kong 64. Resident Evil 2. I'm missing 2 more. What are the 2 I'm missing? Did I say Mario Party 2?
No, you didn't. Oh, Mario Kart 64?
Mario Kart. Well, I said, so we started with that. Mario Kart 64, Smash Brothers, Zelda, both Zeldas, Donkey Kong 64, Perfect Dark, Resident Evil, Mario Party 2, WrestleMania 2000, Super Mario 64. I got 9.
Nah, man.
Maybe I don't know how to count. Anyways, the titles that I mentioned, Nintendo, you gotta put those on. And whatever you do with the rest of the lineup, hey man, whatever you guys want to do. And here's another thing, Nintendo. If you really want to blow Sony out of the water, I mean, you know what? We could lie to Nintendo all we want. This thing is gonna sell like hotcakes. It is. It's gonna sell. It's gonna sell out. It's gonna sell out like crazy. We're probably not gonna get one till freaking 10 years from now.
Is it gonna be as crazy as the Wii U?
It's gonna sell out more than the Wii U probably because they're probably not gonna make enough.
In 10 months, because
they're not gonna make enough. That's how Nintendo does this stuff. They won't make enough.
Because in 10 months, the Wii U sold 4 million.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
That's a lot of copies. Here's another thing too, right? It's gonna come with an expansion pack, right, Nintendo? Like already built into it, right? Like so you could like play it, right? It is, right? Hopefully I don't need to ask that, but you never know. And it's gonna come with built-in memory, right? Right? Okay, good to go. Is the controller gonna be the same size? That's a pretty big controller.
Hopefully,
actually, yeah. Keep the controller the same. This is part of the nostalgia, Nintendo.
I think they should make a smaller controller.
No, I don't think so. I think this is good. Let your hands grow. Let your hands grow. When your hands get big, you got baby hands.
Hey, I'll still be playing my Switch.
All right, guys. So that's pretty much it. We are excited to see this officially announced. If it hasn't been announced yet.
Can I put something totally off topic?
And we'll probably get it in the next video. Why would you mess up their video? This is a Nintendo 64 video. Alright guys, we're out. I'm going to find out what Polkadoo wants to talk about next, and we'll probably make a video about that. Peace!